They convicted Marcus Ellery of murdering his business partner in 1991. Then, 30 years later, someone found Detective Frank Osgood's personal casebook, a spiral notebook he kept in his own desk, not the evidence locker, and inside it was a second suspect's name. A name the jury never heard. A name that, according to the notebook, Osgood interviewed 4 days before he arrested Ellery. The official story was simple. Wallace Grier, 41, was found dead in the back office of the marina supply company he co-owned with Marcus Ellery. Shot once, close range, no forced entry. The two men had fought publicly over money. Grier wanted to sell the business. Ellery wanted to keep it. Detective Frank Osgood led the investigation for the Biloxi Police Department, and within 9 days he had his man. Ellery had no alibi for the window between 9 and 11 p.m. his prints were on the safe. The jury took under 3 hours. Second-degree murder, life with parole eligibility after 25 years. The case went into the file marked closed, and Osgood retired 11 years later with a plaque and a clean record. The notebook surfaced in 2021 when Osgood's daughter was clearing out his house after his death and found it wedged behind a dresser drawer. Along with 2 boxes of case files, he'd never turned in files he was never required to turn in, because Mississippi law at the time treated a detective's personal notes as his own property, not the department's, unless a judge specifically ordered them produced. Nobody had known to ask. The defense attorney in 1991 requested all investigative records related to the Grier homicide. The department handed over the official file. The notebook, sitting in Osgood's desk drawer the entire time, was never part of that file. It was never lied about. It simply wasn't asked for in a way the law required anyone to answer. Inside, dated 4 days before Ellery's arrest, Osgood had written down an interview with a man named Curtis Boyle, a dock worker who owed Grier $11,000 and who Osgood noted left town the night of the 14th, no forwarding address given. That's the night of the murder. The trial record contains no mention of Curtis Boyle. Not in the police report, not in the prosecutor's file, not in a single line of testimony. The official account of the investigation says detectives identified no other persons of interest. Osgood's own handwriting says otherwise in his own ink, dated in his own hand, 4 days before he closed the case around Marcus Ellery instead. Here's the part that took the notebook out of a footnote and into a legal filing. Ellery's original defense attorney had asked, back in 1991, whether police looked at anyone connected to Grier's debts. The prosecutor told the court, on the record, that debt collection was explored and ruled out. That statement was made 9 days after Osgood interviewed Boyle. The prosecutor either didn't know about the interview or knew and left it out. Osgood is dead. He can't answer which. But the notebook proves the interview happened on the exact date it says it happened, in ink that matches 60 other pages of routine casework nobody disputes is his. There's a detail that gets lost in the Boyle discovery, and it's stranger than the missing suspect. 2 pages after the Boyle entry, Osgood wrote a single line. Ellery calm, too calm. Ask Grier's sister about the insurance. Nobody ever asked Grier's sister about the insurance. Not at trial, not in any surviving report. A life insurance policy on Wallace Grier, $200,000 taken out 14 months before his death, existed. The beneficiary wasn't Ellery. It was Grier's sister, Donna Grier Whitfield, who inherited the marina business outright after Ellery's conviction, since the partnership agreement voided a convicted partner's stake. She never testified. She was never asked to. The man whose note prompted the question never followed up on his own lead. None of this proves Ellery didn't do it. What it proves is that the jury convicted him on an investigation with a hole in it the size of a missing suspect and an unasked question about who profited. The Mississippi Innocence Project filed for post-conviction relief in 2022, arguing the notebook constitutes newly discovered evidence the state was never legally obligated to produce, which is itself the disturbing part. Nothing was hidden. Nothing was destroyed. It sat in a drawer legally untouchable for 30 years because the law never anticipated a detective keeping a second, private record of his own case. Ellery is still in Parchman. His appeal is pending. Curtis Boyle has never been located. And Donna Grier Whitfield, when a reporter finally asked her about the insurance policy in 2023, said only that she doesn't remember much from that year. The notebook answered 1 question and opened 3 more, and the one nobody can answer is the simplest. If a detective's private notes are legally his own, how many other cases are sitting in how many other drawers, closed on paper, still open in someone's handwriting?